How did I get my idea and concept for the business? Actually, I was sitting in my office and I got the concept from God. He actually gave me the name and the concept of my business at that time.
I got the idea, or rather concept for my business, actually from my husband. He wanted to own a daycare center most of his adult life. And so after much prayer, we decided that we wanted to open our own facility, not do a chain, and call it Harvest Learning Center because we wanted to basically reap a harvest by nurturing children. And so we called it Harvest Learning Center.
Turning Point was created because my son has been diagnosed with autism, and I recognize that there's so many families like my family that have to deal with all the interventions and the services that are needed when you have a special needs child. So we were created to be able to reach out and help and support families as myself.
How did I get the concept or idea for my business? I think anybody who knows me knows that I love women. No pun intended, but I just love women. And so when I think of women, I think of their beauty, their style, their love of being just that, a woman. So everything that is about Dominique's just encompasses everything about a woman. So I always wanted to kind of highlight that, highlight whatever it is that they wanted to either enhance or do well, or feel like they had some sort of support system without it just being family. Understanding the concept that just because I'm a woman, I'm related to another woman, if that makes sense.
The businesses that I have is a nonprofit, which is Nothing's Impossible, and for profit, Divine Connections. Divine Connections actually profits the Nothing's Impossible business. The Nothing's Impossible business is to give back to the community, to give back to children, scholarships to the homeless, and whatever projects that may come to mind or come to my office.
My business is for profit.
We are a nonprofit 501c3 business in the Greensboro Triad area.
It's for profit. However, we do nonprofit events and different work that I do just in the name of the company is at times nonprofit but for profit.
The services that I offer at Divine Connections is pretty much management, consulting, planning.
The services that I offer at my facility are full-time daycare for parents. We operate from 7:30 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Turning Points is actually offers services such as helping families connect with different resources within the community to help with any kind of interventions the child may need. We focus specifically on autistic children, whether it be high functioning or low functioning children. We also offer some financial assistance as needed to help pay for those services. We are working with different organizations to be able to provide some special needs recreation programs because a lot of times there's not an inclusive program for special needs children. So we certainly are still evolving, but one of the things that we'd like to do is just be able to be that support or that hub for families that have autistic children.
The services I offer is in a range of things. I do makeup, I design clothes, so if there is a particular outfit or occasion or event or major milestone that's going on in your life, I will design around whatever it is that you would like to look like that day. I do own a boutique, so I provide those services. I am a decorator, so whatever the theme is, I create that. At times I have many occasions that I will do just a motivational meeting with other women, having a support group So my business, Dominique's Productions, actually provides just the essence of every essence of a woman. What she does, how she does it, how she maintains, why she does it.
Company's goals for Divine Connection is to build, to be able to meet others. Divine Connection actually is a business that stands for building priceless relationships. So just continue to be visible in the community and build more relationships in the community.
My company's goals are very simple. We want to, first of all, provide the best child care that in our area, in North Carolina. But we also want to nurture and grow employees so that when they leave Harvest Learning Center and go somewhere else, or if they choose to stay with us long term, they are really productive, happy citizens in our community.
One of the goals for Turning Points is to really be able to connect families with the resources within the community and help to pay for those services that they may need. Autism is an ongoing thing. It's not something that you grow out of. So the interventions that parents need to have for their children, it actually varies based on their age, and it's a continuous thing for the rest of their lives. So we really hope to be able to connect families with the resources and help them get those resources that they need for their children.
My company's goal is to touch every woman in the special, unique way that they were designed to be. It's funny that my sister designed this conference with the word designed, because I feel that we all have a unique blueprint to ourselves. And so that would be the goal for me, is to touch as many women as much as possible all across the world.
I contribute my success at Harvest Learning Center basically to the Lord, because we have chosen to be obedient to what He's called us to do.
I contribute my success to God first and foremost, for being able to support other families, for being able to have supportive friends and family, and for being able to just be in the community and make a difference in a child's life.
I contribute my success to understanding that every woman has a magic. Every woman has that defining thing that makes them shine like a star. And so if you are able to identify that, if you're able to know what that is, then you could pull out your own trick out of your own magic hat, and you could light up the sky with the rest of the stars that are in it.
The core values at Divine Connections, as well as Nothing's Impossible, is character, integrity, honesty, and just, I want to say, God-fearing.
My core values at Harvest Learning Center are 6 of them, but the most important one is that we keep God first. We want people to understand that everything that we do comes from our belief in the Lord and being morally based. So that directs how we treat our employees, that directs how we treat our children, that directs our curriculum. That is our most important core value, and our parents and our employees and our children know that.
Our core values for Turning Points is to put God first and to do unto others as they would have us to do. We are here to serve the community and to really make a difference in the lives of the special needs child, and to make them feel like they are just like any other child.
Company's core values is honesty, love, embracing, inviting, the gift of giving, uplifting, encouraging.
I think the thing that makes my business unique is because I do a variety of things, not just with the management, but I coordinate things to be able to give back to the community. So in my business with Divine Connections, for instance, I will go out and find companies that will ask for projects, or I will go out and find projects to give back to the community. So what I do is with Divine Connections, I'll go out and partner or find these businesses, and I get that money and I'll put together a project and give it back to the community or for those that are in need.
The unique thing about my business, I believe, is that we are small and offer a home-like environment, not only for our families and our children, but also for our employees. Everyone does not necessarily want to work in a big environment, and because our environment is very small, we can develop very close, deep relationships with everyone, from our families, our children, to our employees. And I think that makes us very unique in this day and time.
One thing that is unique about Turning Points is that we don't just connect you with the resources. We are there to help support and provide financial assistance for the family if they need it.
I think what's unique about my business is not too many businesses have several entities. I don't just sell hot dogs, or I just don't do hair. Not that there's anything wrong with the person that sells the hot dog or the person that actually does hair, but I believe that my company just has all the entities that kind of makes a woman wake up and want to just conquer the world.
As a business owner, your responsibility to any business owner is everything. Overseeing, planning, managing, making sure everything is going right. When I said my core values, that character and integrity is one of the biggest things, because your name says it all.
My responsibilities as a business owner are numerous. Sometimes it seems the list keeps growing. You're never off as a business owner. You operate 24/7 because you're always thinking about how your business can be better. You have to anticipate problems, solve problems. My typical day in the office is probably about from 9 to 2 or 2:30. But I'm typically working before I go into the office, because I pray to the Lord about how to structure my day to help me to anticipate any problems. Most often when I get into the office, the day doesn't go as planned. I have to kind of deal with some problems, or work with relationships between employees, or deal with parents. And then when I get home, I often have a lot of paperwork that has to be done. So it's always something: buying toys, buying supplies, making sure that the facility is up to standard. But at the end of the day, I really feel like I've done a good job, because I try to make sure I cover all of the bases.
My responsibilities as the CEO and owner of Turning Points right now is just to, I'm doing the intake process to make sure that our families that are in need and that reach out to us, that they get the resources that they need. I'm also a parent advocate and helping parents that may need support in the school system, connecting them with autism specialists as well. So I think right now my role is really to be whatever the parent needs me to be to support them.
Well, your responsibilities as a business owner comes from even being responsible for yourself. Your actions, what you do, how you do it, how organized you are, knowing what you want of the business, and being able to transcend that to those that help you, work for you.
The community projects and outreach that I perform, I do it with my business and without my business. I think because who I am, I'm just a person that loves to give. I am a person that wants to see someone with better. And as people know my story and I tell people about my story, then they get a better concept of the reason why I want to give back to the community.
The type of community outreach that I perform with my business, we are very active with the senior citizen community close to our daycare. At least once or twice a year, the children go to a nursing home around the corner from us to visit with the senior citizens there, either by singing songs with them or doing a craft or activity. Most recently, my daycare was very involved in raising funds for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. And we became very close with a young lady who is 4 years old, and she is a leukemia survivor. And our daycare has thrown a party for her, developed a very close relationship with her by helping to raise funds for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. But more importantly, we developed a relationship with her. And we just got news, in fact, this week that come January, she will have her last chemo treatment and has invited our facility to a party to celebrate that milestone in her life. And she's been on chemo for 2 years. And so she will be completing that. And our children love this young lady, and they've been able to understand how it is to be compassionate about someone else who might be going through an illness.
One of the many services or outreach things that we've done so far, we did the autism walk in Duke University. We're also doing an autism walk in September with Dudley High School. We are certainly in the community helping people privately, as well as we're planning a charity ball in April of 2019 to just showcase and celebrate all autistic children in the area.
Community outreach that I perform with and without the business has always been something that's very close to my heart, and that's homelessness. And so with the business, I have taken profit and bought blankets and pillows in the wintertime and passed that out to those that were, without a home and in the streets and could use a little bit of comfort. Without the business, I have involved my family, my children, my mom, by cooking a whole meal as if it was Thanksgiving, and it was random, and we both did a full course meal, dessert included, and put it all in the back of my truck and passed it out to almost 52 people personally. And standing around eating the food that I made for them, so that they understand that I wasn't just making just anything, that this too would be food that both me and my children would eat as well. So both with and with the company, I have always had homelessness as something close to my heart. So community-wide, that's what I've done.
An experience that I can share with you that will validate my business, I will give you a couple. One of the most recent experiences that I've done was with a community center that gave back 200 students a bag of food to go home with. It was a community that really the children don't have anything to eat on the weekends, or if they're not in school or at the community center, they wouldn't be able to eat. So what I did is I got with a company and funded 200 students with over $5,000 of food to take home for the weekend. Actually, it was one of the holiday weekends. So that was one of the experiences. One of the other experiences, and this is my third one, I do host talent shows or events. The last one I did was for the special needs children to be able to go to the Special Olympics. So it was a talent show that I just recently held at a community center that hosted. We gave back money to winners and also to individuals. Well, actually it was a team, a group, an impact group, to be able to go to the Special Olympics.
I can think of several examples that I believe the Lord has sent to me to validate why I should have started my business and why He's continued to provide for my business. One of the most important ones for me was just recently. I had a former employee email me telling me how great she's doing at her current job and how much she has learned, how much she learned from working for me, and how it has continued to be a blessing. And that's been one of my core values, that I believe that my employees just don't work for me. It is my job to build them up and instill a lot of virtues and work ethics in them so that they can go on and do bigger and better things after they work for me. And so I have at least 5 young ladies who are doing amazing things. They've gone on to earn master's degrees. They are social workers, they are teachers in Wake County, Orange County, and they love to call me. They call me Mama Mitchell, Mama Lynette, and I love that, and that validates what I do every day. That my job is just not to go in and run a daycare center. My job is to touch lives every day.
One of the best moments since starting Turning Points is when we had a sensory-friendly movie day, and I actually get teared up thinking about it. I saw so many little kids that never went to the movies before in their lives. And there was one little girl in particular, she was so excited about going to the movies because she was 6 years old and had never gone to the movies before. And we partnered with a local cinema, and she was able to sit through that entire movie the entire time, and she was so happy. And at the end of it, she hugged me and said, "Thank you. I've never been to the movies before, and I had a great time."
Share an experience with you, why I started my business. I don't believe that it is just one, but probably the one that sticks out the most was my experience on a HBCU campus. One of the main things I think that as a woman, or I should say as a black woman, that we as black women don't do enough is reach out our hand to a sister. And I remember it was homecoming. She was also a soror, and there was something about us walking into the room as a unit while she was getting ready for the last vote for her to be the homecoming queen. And it was just something that was just so important to her. It was really something that was close to her heart. If I remember correctly, because it's been several years since I've been out of college, I think her grandmother and both her mother that was also their alma mater, and they had been the homecoming queen. And for whatever reason, this was one of those family things that had to happen, or she felt she just was not going to be what she needed to be and to go on to be. And as sorors, and both not, we all went in probably about 30 minutes before she had to step out. And there was something about both her tears and us cleaning her up to get her, after all that work put in, and her face all messed up all over again, and for her to step out the way that she did, able to do her speech the way that she did, and indicating to the crowd that the segment that she was about to say in her speech was not written in. And as she said, "To my sisters, both ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha and not, had it not been for you, I don't believe that I would have had both the courage or be able to be inspired enough to come out here and win this crown." So I think there was something about us all, or for some reason her thinking that we weren't going to come into the room where she was getting ready and finish helping her get ready, that she thought we weren't going to come and support that. So I believe that there's something about another sister reaching out and holding you up better than you could hold yourself that truly tells me that there's some sort of black girl magic there.
The way I juggle my life is I put God first. What I do is I also list all of my information. I make a list in the morning or at night, what I'm going to complete for my work and for my job. And then I still have to be a wife, and I still have to be a mother and a grandmother. So making a list, putting God first is the very first thing. So I do get up early in the morning around 4 o'clock, and I do my scripture. And the days that I don't, it's every other day that I go and I work out. But I'm always consistently praying, putting God first, making my list. And that's how I actually juggle and able to have my life at a balance. You want to have a balanced life.
I juggle my personal life as a business owner primarily by spending time with the Lord every morning. Often that means getting up at 2 or 3 in the morning when it's very quiet, so that I can hear from the Lord as to how to structure my day, knowing when it's time to stop, and it's time to give my family time. There's some days I have to do a lot of work and my family may only get a couple of hours at the end of the day. But sometimes the Lord will tell me, you know what, today, make your list. I will tell you what's important, and I will tell you this is a day that you might need to get off at 12 and stop by NC State and see your oldest son who sounded a little funny on the phone yesterday and might need to have lunch with mama. And so I really make sure I listen to the Lord about spending time. Just yesterday, my husband was after me all day. You haven't spent any time. We haven't spent any time. And I'm thinking of this whole list of things that I had to do. But I felt the Lord say, listen, this is your husband. This is more important. Put that list down. Spend some time with your family. And so that's how I make sure that I do what's important, keeping my family first.
As a business owner and a mom, it's very challenging, but I think just prioritizing and certainly making time for not only my family, but also making time for the business as well every day. Even if it's little increments, I make sure to make time for the business every day.
I juggle my personal life as a business owner in a way of understanding that everything has to be juggled. Everything has to be a balance. In order for everything to grow in a very positive way, you have to be able to give as much attention to both the business and your personal life. And another thing that I found is that involving everybody helps. So whenever I have something to do and there's a lot of things that I have to haul away with me, I am able to bring all the children along. They help unwrap, anything that I'm designing if I'm doing some sort of decorating a party, or helping me with my makeup cases because I just did a wedding party. So all these things are things that you use to the best of your ability, and so use everything you have in order to create what you want.
Say the advice that I would give to an individual that's wanting to start out or have started out is always pray. Always pray, put God first, but make sure that you're writing down your vision and you're making it plain, and it will come into reality. Never give up.
If I had one piece of advice to someone starting on their business, I would have to say wholeheartedly, pray about it. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I cannot tell you so much that the Lord has brought me through in my business. I have been in some scary situations with my business, challenges, legal issues, and I can stand here and tell you that the Lord has brought me through every step of it. Not just through it, but better after having gone through it. And it's because I stay prayerful. My life is His life. And I love what someone once said. They said, God will pay for what He orders. And so when the Lord has ordered you to do something, then He will take care of it. And so you will never anticipate everything that your business is going to require of you. You don't have the capacity for that, but the Lord does. And so when He calls you to do something, even when it gets rough, even when it gets tough, He's going to take care of it because you'll be walking in His will.
If I had to offer any advice to someone starting, it would be not to give up and to certainly utilize all the resources that are available to you.
First thing I would say to somebody that wants to start a business as advice would be, make sure that your passion shines brighter than your fears. What I mean by that is when you're going in to start your own business, there are so many things, so many obstacles that come up. And so as being human, you're going to have fear. You have to understand that your business is like a child, right? You give birth to it, you nurture it, you make sure that you're giving it the right nutrients to watch it grow. And so you don't want to overcompensate so that you don't lose everything else. So you have to know that you have to understand what it is that you want, research what it is, make sure that your passion is just as strong as your will, and truly make sure that that shines more than your fear. And just watch the child grow. That's truly what your business is, your very own child.
My name is Celeste Crocker. My businesses are Divine Connection, which is my for-profit business, and it's building priceless relationships. And then my foundation is Nothing's Impossible, the Crocker and Bethia Foundationship, where we do go out and help those in the community. I am a woman designed with a purpose.
My name is Lynette Mitchell, and I am the owner of Harvest Learning Center, and I am a woman designed with a purpose.
I am Pamela Roper, and I am a woman designed for a purpose with a purpose.
Understanding your light and knowing that you're a star, because it takes 1 billion of us in the sky to light up the night. My name is Dominique Alphonse Seville, and I am a woman that is designed with a purpose.
Hello, my name is Tanya Cowan, and I am the CEO and founder of Design with a Purpose, CFS, which stands for Courage, Faith, and Strength. I am also the CEO of As You Wish Weddings, Events, Meetings. We are women designed with a purpose.